It's a good question about why can't we move like a cat? Why do we need to study something? It's a very good question. What happens is, whenever we learn something, especially something that's a little challenging, like tossing a ball, especially tossing 3 balls at the same time.
No thanks, 1 was enough.
we do what's good enough for rock and roll. And so a lot of times what ends up happening is, along with the skill that we intend to do, we learn a lot of extra other stuff that we bind together with the skill that we're actually trying to learn.
Okay.
So what happens is, as adults, we then try out the skills that we already know to see if any of them match or could possibly be applied to this particular situation that we're learning now. Yeah. And some of them kind of work and some of them don't work, and sometimes we don't have the ability to discern what is the most efficient thing of the way that we're using our energy and what is not.
So how does Alexander technique, I don't mean for this to sound challenging, but I'm curious, because usually a person inside their own body sort of knows what their own body is doing. So what is it that the Alexander technique practitioner brings to the table that helps the person be able to move more efficiently?
It's a little mysterious.
Okay.
The way we're built when we learn something is we get used to what we know, because habits are designed to, in a sense, go inside of ourselves and become innate. That's what practice is all about.
Right.
Practice is making a habit so normal that it becomes a part of you, and you don't even know you're doing it.
Okay.
So what happens is, although you have feelings about where you are in space and how much effort it takes to do something, these feelings are only in relationship to what you already know. You get used to it. So you don't really know what you're doing.
So the Alexander technique practitioner is a good observer.
Excellent observer.
Okay.
And can teach you how to observe yourself more efficiently.
Because ultimately that's the point, is to be able to see what it is that you're doing so that you can self-correct.
See what it is you're doing so that you can do more of what you want and less of what you don't.
Okay. So if someone were trying to become more efficient, say, and not have, I think that Alexander technique helps with things like, I don't know, maybe back pain or this thing.
RSI?
Yeah. So am I understanding that the Alexander technique practitioner would first of all observe how the person did it, then give them corrective suggestions so that they can eliminate the stuff that's not okay, and then allow them to practice to make sure that they're doing it correctly, and then after that they can sort of fly free?
Yeah, the idea is to free yourself.
Okay.
Not necessarily match what you believe is correct.
Okay.
Because if you're matching what you believe is correct, then you're doing what you already know.
Okay.
So Alexander technique, a teacher of the Alexander technique, takes you into a realm of what's not familiar for you.
Okay.
It sort of feels funny, but it actually feels kind of like removing a lot of the extra effort that is unnecessary.
So on the average, how long would it take? How many sessions would one need in order to get from a bad habit to less effort?
Of course, it would depend on how bad the habit is. Habits are very tricky and insistent. However, you can learn to use the Alexander technique in about a month. And that would mean something similar to playing a musical instrument.
Okay.
It's a skill similar to that.
So when you say about a month though, is that every day? Is that once a week? Is that, how many sessions?
If you can practice every day, it would be the best.
Okay, if you're practicing every day, but how many sessions do they need with the practitioner?
I would say 20 to 40 lessons is about normal.
Okay.
And The way it's being taught now is people are learning faster. So if you can have 6 lessons, you'll pretty much learn an Alexander technique if this kind of thing is going to work for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. You're welcome.
I am now Alexander 2. I've got 4 more to go, right?
At least. Alexander lessons are about a half an hour to 45 minutes long.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, this has been Francis Engel and Alea Leyland from the Big Island of Hawaii talking about Alexander technique after a couple of lessons that Alea has just had.
And what's your website?
My website is www.franis.org. That's F as in Frank, RANIS as in Sam, .org. See you later.